We are back to the main page on our management console. And now let's click on the Cloudtrail under the management tools. And this will just take us to the Cloudtrail dashboard. Now, once we go over there, you can see the event history for the events that have happened in my account in the last 9 days or for the last 9 days. So you can see over here, recent events. These are most recent events recorded by Cloudtrail. To view all the events for the last 90 days, go to event history. Now, under the event history, I can see the past 90 days API calls or the activities, right? For example, if I show you one of the activities that has happened in the past, you can see the entire information. For example, it shows the region where this activity occurred, the event name, delete snapshot because a snapshot was deleted, then the event date and time, the source IP address, so what was the IP address of the machine when this operation was triggered, and who did that, root account, right? So from my root account, this delete snapshot operation was triggered at this date and time using the source IP address, right? So let's see some more event history so that we can get to know that how they look like. For example, yeah, I just go over there. Now I deleted one of the volumes in the region of US West 1, that's North California. It was done through my root account, and the source IP address of my computer at that time was this one. And this is the event date and time. So I can just go back and see the event history to see each and every API call or each and every activity that was triggered with respect to the resources in my account. For example, I terminated one instance in the region of North California through my root account, and this was the source IP address of my computer. Now over here, you can see the past 90 days logs. What if you want to go beyond that? Because it is just the 90 days logs. For example, if I want to see the logs of the past like 6 months, 8 months, or 1 year, or maybe 2 years. Now from now onwards, what I can do is I can just enable the Cloudtrail trail, and each trail will, once it's been captured, it will start storing the logs in the S3 bucket. So from today's date, if I just create a trail, that trail will start accumulating or storing the log files of each and every event to the S3 bucket. Now from after 1 year, if I want to see any of the event histories in that what has happened in the gap of 1 year, I can just go to the S3 bucket and extract the log based upon the time and date. Now how you can do that? So this event history you can see under the event history, under the dashboard, right? Now if I just go to the trails, from here you can just create a trail. So just go ahead and click on create trail, and you have to assign a name to it. So I name it as test-trail. And now this is a very important option. Do you want to apply this trail to all the regions? If the answer is yes, choose yes. In that case, it will create a trail named as test trail in each of the regions. So it will create a trail in each of these regions. If I say no, then it will capture the operations or the API activity only for the Northern California in the region we are in right now. So it's all up to you. If you have the infrastructure or the resources that's been scattered across all the regions, then this is an important option. Else you choose no, right? So you can choose no, and if you have 2 or 3 different regions, you can have individual trails for each and every region. So I choose no. In my case, since all my resources reside in North California, it will capture the logs of those resources only. Now, under the management events, I can it gives me the insights into the management operations that's been performed on resources in my account. Now, these are 3 different options. or read only, write only, none. All means that it will capture all the different management events. Read only means that it will capture the events that are being there to describe the information of the resources. For example, describe instances. It's a read only API call. If I choose write only, then any of the operations that will make the changes or implementation of the resources would come under write only. For example, terminate instances, launch instances. These are the write only operations. And if I choose none, then it will not capture any of the log files under the management events. So I choose all, which is the default option. In that case, it will capture the read only and the write only events. Now we have data events. Data events will give you the insight of the API calls captured in one of your S3 buckets, or also it will see, or it will give you the record of all the API operations for individual functions. Now this is mandatory. If you are using Lambda, then you can go with the Lambda data events. If you're not using S3 or Lambda, or if you don't want to capture the invocations, then you can skip that. But of course, the management events is crucial because you can capture each and every event. But if you want to specifically target the S3 bucket and Lambda invocations, then you can go with that. So we're going to skip the data events and we're going to go with the management events only. Now after we scroll down, now we have to specify the storage location because these log files will be saved in one of the S3 buckets. So you can create a new S3 bucket by choosing yes, or you choose no and create a new bucket from scratch. One thing you have to keep in mind is that the S3 bucket should be in the same region where your Cloudtrail is being created. So this Cloudtrail or this trail is being created in the region of North California. Hence, the bucket should be in the same region. So if I choose yes and I create a new bucket, that new bucket will be created in the region of North California. So let me name this new bucket as demo Cloudtrail hyphen v2 version 2, something like that, right? So in this S3 bucket, all my API calls or the operations or the activities will be saved in the form of logs, right? So from now onwards, it will start storing the logs. And down the line, after a few months or few years, if I go back, I can see that what events or the operations have been triggered so far. Let's go ahead and click on create. And this creates my trail from scratch. Okay. So it takes some time for the log files to be delivered. If I just go to this S3 bucket, it will take its own sweet time to start showing me the logs. I think it takes 5 minutes straight because the logs will be captured and stored after a gap of each 5 minutes. So as of now, you can see there are no updates under this path because we don't have any of the logs showing up under this bucket. If I go to the AWS S3, then I can see all the S3 buckets. All right. So that's how your Cloudtrail trails are being enabled. And from now onwards, it will start accumulating the logs into this demo Cloudtrail v2 S3 bucket. If you are satisfied with the event history of the past 90 days, so in that case, there's no need to enable the trail. You can just go ahead and you can start using your event history, just in case if you think that you don't have to go beyond 90 days, right? So it's all up to you. Either you can just stick to the event history, or you can just create a trail, or you can use both. It's all up to you. I recommend that you also enable trails because it is very important for you to perform the troubleshooting, just in case if you think that you may have to extract the logs maybe 6 months back or 7 months back. In that case, this is useful. Also, one important thing, if you are just performing the lab session just to understand that how it works for you, please make sure that you disable or delete the trail just after that, because the Cloudtrail will keep on storing or accumulating the logs in the S3 bucket after a gap of 5 minutes. Now we have to remember one thing, that you get only 5 GB of free S3 storage under the free tier account. So if you have the Cloudtrail enabled for many days, within few days or I think few weeks, your 5 GB of limit would be exceeded in that month. So it's advisable that you just go to the trail after you're done doing your lab session. You just go ahead and either you can just click on this bin icon to delete this Cloudtrail, or else you can just put the logging from on to off. So you can just hit the slider button on the left side. It will put the logging to off, hit continue, and will stop storing or generating the log files to S3 bucket. So it's very important for you to apply that so that you don't exceed your free tier limit to store your data in your S3 bucket. And once you go to this trail, you can make any change in any of the options that you have configured before. So that's all about the Cloudtrail. Thank you.